This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, welcome. I had a struggling photography business that was barely holding on. Imagine this, I was a pro for decades, but this photography industry changes super fast, and I was terrible at reaching out and getting new work. I tried showing up on social media, but when I did, it wasn't fast enough, or it didn't pay off fast enough, and I wasn't consistent. I thought I was working hard. Every day I did something for my photography business, but none of it moved the needle. It was all busy work. I was coaching my assistants in person. I was showing them what the photography side of what I was doing looked like, but it usually took 2 full years to get them going. And I couldn't give them photography business help. All I could teach them was how to make pictures because my own photography business needed help. Then COVID hit. When COVID hit, it shut everything down. Suddenly, I had nothing but time to think. That's when it hit me. I didn't need more distractions. I didn't need to keep myself busy. I needed real guidance. So I hired a business coach, a creative coach. I read books. I studied successful photographers, and I paid attention to how they built their businesses. Not just the pictures they made, but the strategies behind the scenes. I started applying those lessons piece by piece. Slowly, my business turned around, and slowly, my business turned around. And like, thank God my business turned around. My assignments got better again. The clients, they got bigger again. And I started building systems that actually worked, and I actually used the systems that I built. Then I asked myself, could I take the same system and use it to help photographers that I've never met from all over the world over the internet? I tested it. I tested it with 20 photographers, then another 20. And the results were incredible. These photographers went from lost and inconsistent to landing clients and making money with their cameras. And they were doing it in like 3 to 6 months. So now I have 150 photographers inside my accelerator and my portfolio lab system, and over 1,000 photographers using my programs on their own. Every time I learn something new that works, I teach it to these photographers the very next week and show them exactly how to apply it to their businesses. It works. Like-minded photographers from all over the world, all on the same mission. That's what the Carty method is. And I'm so glad that we found each other. Understand this, we're all in this industry together. I know that you know that I'm here to do nothing but help. Now ask yourself this, why do you know Peter McKinnon? I'm sure you can't think of a single image that he's created, but yet you know his name and you know that he's a photographer, which is exactly why you need to be in video. That's what we are talking about today. The absolute necessary need for photographers to put themselves out there, and to actually be in front of the camera. So let's get into why you need to be in front of the camera, even if you don't want to. And I have to tell you, speaking to camera builds trust, it builds authority, and it builds confidence for a creative professional. So you kind of need to. But here's the problem. Photographers avoid being on camera. Photographers hate being on camera. Try to get a photographer in front of the camera. I mean, I did. I know I avoided being on camera. So if you're feeling like maybe this content today isn't for you, do me a favor, keep watching for a few more minutes. I know most photographers avoid being on the camera because I get it. And understand that fear and that discomfort, it's internal. It's not technical. It's not actually it's not actually even real, that fear. So understand that it's internal. It's not a technical fear. And most of these fears are attached to being judged. And sometimes you might have like some sort of past public speaking trauma. Maybe you had to speak in front of the class and you forgot your words, or that time when you like wet your pants and everyone's like laughing at you when you were a kid. Like we all have past public speaking trauma. And that leads to our own personal insecurities around this whole concept of speaking to camera. And I'm really here to help you with that today. I understand this part. Making photographs, being behind the camera, it feels safe. It feels safe because don't forget, I'm a professional photographer as well. I've been doing photography for 34 years. I've been shooting pictures for 40. I'm going to get into how long it took me to get to be in front of the camera. I know that speaking on camera makes you feel exposed. I know all of these problems that you're running through your head right now. I know all this because I feel it. And understand that the camera isn't what's scary. What's scary is what you tell yourself. What you tell yourself is the thing that's actually scary. The world doesn't see us the way the world sees us. The world sees us the way we see ourselves. So if you have a high regard for yourself, the world will see you in high regard. If you have a low regard for yourself and low self-esteem, well, how do you expect to be a business owner? How do you expect people to trust you enough to exchange money? How do you expect to bring value to people if you're hiding? Like really ask yourself that. Like, how can I bring value to people? How can I bring value to somebody if I'm hiding? And so many photographers are hiding. And I know that. I know photographers are hiding. And I'll say again, because I was one of them. The camera isn't scary. I'll say again, what you tell yourself is. And the world doesn't see us in the way that they see us. They see us in the way that we see ourselves. This whole thing is just a projection. So I avoided being on camera for 25 years, literally 25 years. I want you to think about that if you haven't even been shooting, being a pro photographer for 25 years. If you haven't yet been a pro photographer for 25 years, imagine I was a pro for 25 years. I had the technology for like at least 10 and I still avoided it. I made excuses. And I'm nobody's better at making excuses for doing something than a creative. Nobody's better than making excuses. Oh, the wind has to be right. The temperature has to be right. So many things have to be right in order for us to do something. And then in 2014, I signed a 2-year deal with Canon, where Canon paid me a bunch of money to shoot with cameras that I was shooting with already. And I learned how to negotiate like that because I spent some time with coaches. And we're going to get into that later. But only when Canon sponsored me did I realize how important it was for me to be on camera and for me to learn how to present. But after my sponsorship ended, and I really look back at my sponsorship and I really realized like I wasn't that great on camera, and Canon only saw me as a photographer. They didn't see me as a presenter because they couldn't extrapolate that I could do something, like I knew I could do this. They saw me as what I was doing already, which wasn't video. So why would they stay with me? When my contract ended, they signed Peter McKinnon because I wasn't doing all the things that I said they should be doing. So after my sponsorship ended, I stopped doing video. I should have stayed with it, but I stopped. And what did that do? That increased my social anxiety all over again. So this was my turning point, and I finally did something that I should have done years earlier, which was fix my teeth. And I'll be transparent. Hollywood smile. I had to pay for my Hollywood smile. And if you so choose to go back and look at my old YouTube videos, like old videos, you'll see my fucked up teeth and how like I was so insecure, but I had the power to fix that. And it's like, I should have did it so much earlier. I should have fixed those teeth so much earlier, and finally I did. I fixed my teeth. It boosted my confidence. My confidence went through the roof in person. I was getting attention from people like that would walk by me before, and I was smiling. I was smiling a lot. But I still avoided being on video. And when I think back to this, like, oh my God, I still avoided being on video. And I had the confidence to do it, and I had the tech to do it. Then COVID happened, and COVID forced me to put myself out there. COVID forced me to get serious and put myself out there because nothing was happening. And I decided that I was going to get serious about showing up on camera. I had to. We all go through this thing called the Valley of Despair. Seth Godin calls it the dip. And I'll explain it. This is our life, okay? Our life goes like this. It's up, and then it's down, and then it's up again, you know? And this axis is time. Or no, actually, we'll do this one is effort. How about this? Yeah, that's effort. That's it. This is effort. We'll hide my camera for a second. That's effort. And over here is time. Okay? So if you imagine effort and time, we go through this thing called the Valley of Despair, which is right here. And I'm going to give you two different analogies for this. Alex Hormozy calls it the Valley of Despair. And Seth Godin calls this the dip. The dip is right here. Okay, and this is how it works. When there's 5 points of success in life, and you can imagine effort. We seem to be putting in a lot of effort, but then over time, that effort literally we're getting less results. You know, and the way that Alex Hormozy explains it is there's 5 points. He calls it number 1 is uninformed optimism. Uninformed optimism. That's number 1. When we are gung-ho, hey, let's be a photographer. It seems easy. Push a button, take a picture. Bob's your uncle. Easy, right? So we all come in as uninformed optimists. But then, as we start to gain more information over time, we start to become an informed pessimist. Oops, missed. We become an informed pessimist. And this is level 2, which we all hit. And then Alex Hormozy and Seth Godin both agree with this. Then we hit the dip. Alex Hormozy calls it the Valley of Despair. Seth Godin calls it the dip. And that is darkness. That is when photographers and other people quit. Entrepreneurs, they quit in the dip. But all you need to do is fill your head with information, and then you can move out of the dip. And Alex Hormozy calls this an informed optimist. Now you're starting to get information. Now you're realizing what you need to do. You're on the path. And then after informed optimist comes level 1 success. After you get out of the dip, you will find your success. So anything that we do, we go through the dip. It's going to be hard, but that's when everybody quits. But if you know that that's coming and know that like real success comes after the valley of despair, real success comes after the dip, but we have to push through. We must push through. Like God gives us everything that we need to be ultra successful. He puts all the information, the skill right in front of us, but he doesn't build it for us. So me talking to you about being on video, you have to push through this. This is something that is hard now, easy later. Do you know how easy it is for me to be on video now? I'm doing this live. There's no editing. I'm doing this live. Like, this is easy now. It was hard before. Look at me. I'm in a room. I'm by myself. I'm emphatically speaking to my best friend, you. You're paying attention. But if you look at this room, there's nobody in here. It's just me. And I figured out how to do that, how to push through, even when you're so good at talking yourself out of it. So, my early attempts and your early attempts are going to be awkward and uncomfortable. Know that already. It makes it so much easier to push through when you know that your early attempts are going to be awkward and uncomfortable. But we grow, and it's so great to have those early attempts so you can look back at how far you've grown. Anything that you want to improve at, just like photography, you have to stay with it. Anything. How do you get out of the dip? Stay in there. Stay with it. Stay and try different stuff. Like, that's the point of the dip, is experimentation. This is why so many people find me when they're in the dip. And also, so many people aren't even going to click this video because they don't think it's relevant, because why would they need to be on video? But you, the one that clicked this video, the one that's watching, you're getting information that can help you get out of the dip. And I do this live. So live video, live, where there's no chance for redo. I've just made a mistake. Just do it again. Like, live, free flow, authentic, organic content for you. But again, so many people don't watch it, because you understand how hard it is for me to hide when I'm doing this live, to pretend to pretend that I'm something but actually be something else. You understand how hard that is to do live? In fact, impossible. You would see right through my bullshit. So live video became my ultimate challenge, and that meant no redos, free flow, just free flow. And to this day, I still do live. I thought when I monetized my channel, I actually said this to myself, when I monetized my channel, I was going to stop doing live. Are you kidding? Do you understand? Live is the foundation of this channel. Lock this in. This is why, for you today, being on camera matters. And I'm so glad that you just tuned in, and you know who you are. You tuned in just this second to see what I was talking about. Perfect timing, because this is why being on camera matters. It builds trust, and it builds authority. It builds trust and authority. And you know this to be true because I'm building trust and showing authority with you right now as you watch me. Now, you need to lock in this, because this is so important. 7-11-4. The 7-11-4 rule. Clients need 7 hours of content. 7 hours 11 points of contact. 11 points of contact on 4 platforms in order to trust you enough to buy. Boom. Let that sink in. 7 hours, 11 different points of contact on 4 different platforms. Substack, YouTube, stevecarty.com, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Like, how many people, put your hand up at home if you've watched me for over 7 hours. Put your hands up at home if you've watched me for over 7 hours. Put your hands up at home. I know you have your hand up. Over 7 hours, 7 podcasts, maybe a bunch of videos over a course, right? Why are you still here? Because I've built trust with you. Because you've given me your 7 hours. Because I've brought value. I've brought value to you over that 7 hours, which is why you're here. So, 11 different points of contact. How many of you have watched at least 11 different videos from me? At least 11 different videos. And how many of you follow me on more than one platform? Right? Clients trust the faces that they recognize. Okay? So if you see a thumbnail with my face on it and I built trust with you, you click. So for you to get trust as a photographer, what is the fastest way for you directly to your clients to build trust? Make videos, talking about problems that way they will face and solving them for them in a video. Hey, here's what you should bring on a photo shoot. Hey, not sure about style? Here's the 3 main pieces that you could bring to your photo shoot in order to make sure that the photographer's happy. Not sure like how to cut your hair? Here's 3 haircuts that you can get that a makeup artist can, like, if you're a man, a makeup artist can style your hair. 3 different, like, think of all the different things that in video that you could do in order to sell your services. You guys have all seen my mix spot. That 1 minute or 90 seconds of video, it's a punch in the face. And you put that kind of video on your about page. It's not on mine right now because I'm in the process of shooting another one. But clients need trust and they need impressions. How long do you think, grab this, how long do you think it takes a still photograph at a time? If you're only showing stills and not connecting your likeness to that picture, like here's me with my camera, here's that scene, and then I take the picture and then I show you that scene. Like you're not connecting yourself with the scene, even with the behind the scenes photo. Imagine how long it's going to take you with just a single image that people look at for less than 5 seconds. How long is it going to take you to build 7 hours? Like, think about that. How long is it going to take you to build 7 hours? Like, 1 photo at a time, which is like 5 seconds at a time. Oh my God. If you really think about that, that's actually insanity. When you think about, we live in the most photo savvy time that there's ever been. People are really up on photography. They know retouching, they know Photoshop, they know liquify, they know when that bitch is making her hips wider or making her waist narrower. Like, we see that. We see it. So how long do you think it's going to take to build trust without using video? And how's it working for you so far? How's it working for you? How much trust are you building with your clients by not doing what I'm doing right now, which is putting myself in front of the camera and putting myself out there? Clients trust the face that they recognize. Lock that in because it is so important. And understand this, when you get good on camera, do you not think that I'm good in a pitch or in a meeting or selling my work? Like, how many people have been in a meeting with me? How many of you out there have been in a discovery call with me, have been in a strategy session with me, have been in a coaching call with me? I'm an assassin, right? Like when I'm talking to you, whether I'm on YouTube or on Zoom, when I'm on camera, it helps so much. And now in person, do you not think that my in-camera presence carries over to how I am in person? How many of you lucky people have met me in person? How many, like I know Sean Thomas and a couple other people who I met in person who are here in Toronto, in my city, that have shown themselves that actually watch my content. It helps with your pitches. It helps with your in-person meetings, and it helps you sell your services. It helps you talk about transformations, and being on camera gives you the gift of the gab. Like if you understand this, you notice how like there's no pauses and like, what am I going to say next? Like I know exactly what I'm talking about. So I know this is no notes. I'm doing this off the dome. So how did I learn how to do that? Well, I practice, and I did lots and lots of reps. But same thing with pitch meetings. I'm not going into pitch meetings with like written notes and like referring to my laptop and saying this. And when you're in person, you got to learn that. And being on camera helps so much with that. But then there's those internal blocks, which again, I know like people are like logging on and watching, and then they're watching for a bit, and then they're watching something else. Like, and understand, I don't care if that's happening. I don't care. I only care about the people who watch, and I only care about the people who see value in this information. Because if you don't see value in what I'm telling you, I don't need you. Go watch Peter McKinnon. Honestly, if you don't see value in what I'm giving you. So we have these internal blocks, and we're all going to have them. We are all going to have internal blocks. But know this, that fear of judgment, it's all in your head. I promise you, it is all in your head. That fear of judgment, that stress that you're feeling. And again, I'll say again, people don't see us like they see us. People see us how we see ourselves. So if you're afraid of judgment, it's going to be all over your face. And again, that's what happens early. But the thing that you have to get to the place of is this, not, I'm going to write down a swear, but I'm not going to say it. Okay. But you have to, and it's simple. You have to not care. Okay? You have to not care about what people think. You have to do it anyways. You can have that fear of being judged, but guess what? You do it anyway. You have to. Everybody starts from scratch. Everybody. Are you going to be a master photographer as soon as you pick up the camera? And this is another thing. There's nobody who wants things faster than a photographer. Photographers like fast. They want it instant. Like photographers want everything so fast, including skills, including knowing how to light, knowing how to run their business, knowing how to be a professional. Like they want it all in 10 minutes or less. Just tell me so I can do it. It's like, yeah, good luck, buddy. Good luck getting the information in 10 minutes that it took me a lifetime to achieve. Like set the path of learning as a lifelong journey. You're never finished. That's the trick. You're never finished. And everybody starts from scratch. Everybody starts at the start. We all start at shit. And the hard thing is we don't want people to see us when we're starting. What is going to create more trust that with somebody than them seeing you reveal a weakness? What's going to create more trust with somebody than telling them, I'm really bad at this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Everybody starts somewhere, and perfection is impossible, let alone not required. I'm not perfect. I've made so many mistakes already during this presentation, but the presentation, the value of the presentation is greater than these small mistakes that I saw I made that you probably didn't even notice. Everybody starts somewhere. The goal here is not for you to be a broadcaster. I'm not trying to say, hey, you need to be on CNN or you need to be on your local news channel. But the idea is you definitely need to use video because you can't speak to everybody. You can't possibly speak to everybody. There's another mistake, but guess what? I don't care. You can't possibly speak to everybody because it's not what's happening. We're not trying to make you a broadcaster. We're just trying to get you to be comfortable and clear and concise with the person or people who you are speaking to. Because we all speak to somebody. And to have confidence when you're speaking to a stranger, there's nothing that feels better than that. And you leave that stranger leaves you feeling like, wow, I like that person. That was a great connection. I'm going to connect with them again. So let's go over how speaking to camera helps your business, your photography business, your creative business. It helps all businesses. Imagine we want to hear the founder's story, and you're the founder. So what's your story? I want to hear the founder's story. So, as I touched on at the top of the hour, speaking to camera builds presence and it builds authority. And over time, you learn how to pause and you learn how to say words that cause impact and you let them resonate. You notice when I'm speaking, I'm not just verbal diarrhea. I let you listen. And I assume that you're as smart as I am. So I'm not talking down to you. I'm talking to you as an equal. I'm talking to you as a friend. And I want you to feel that. And I'm connecting with you. And you're not in the same room as me. I'm connecting with you. And I'm speaking directly to you. And you know that. And you feel it, right? Do you understand how powerful that is? But you're not using it. And I want you to change that. I want you to change that today. Speaking on camera builds presence. It builds authority. And sales calls. Again, I always said, if I got somebody on the phone, it was over. If I got somebody in person and they needed photography, it was over. I was an assassin. I thought I was. I mean, I was probably pretty good, but especially after like 20 years of experience, but now I'm so much better. And who'd have thought that like when you're really good at something, you can actually get better. And when you get better, you look back and you're like, I wasn't really that good at all with what I know now. The thing is though, you don't know what you don't know. And sadly, so many people don't know why being on camera is so important. It helps with all aspects of your photography business, your sales calls, your client interactions, and every single time that you're creatively pitching something. Hey, I have this idea. You understand and you feel how to convey excitement, emotion. And I'm able to convey excitement and emotion through video and in person because I practice. That's all. I just practiced. And those real world professional moments that I touch on, like being on set, being able to command a room, being able to do a photo shoot for a magazine and talk to the art director and be like, okay, I'm thinking this. What do you think? And then listen, and they're like, oh, I like that. Okay, what if we add, like, you're in it. You're not a mouse. You're not, like, it's a confidence builder. That's why you need to do it. You heard me? It's a confidence builder, and it does indeed prepare you for the most real world professional moments. So, should we talk about how you can get started? I think we should talk about how you can get started. Let's go over a bit of a framework. Well, number one, let's start with some short videos. Super short, easy videos, like 30 seconds. You can do a 30-second video. I promise you, you can. You've probably done it already. You just haven't shared it. And put it out there. So start with a short video. That's step one. Step two, don't use a full script, okay? Start with bullet points. Like point one, talk about this, and then you look at your note, and then you talk about it. And then point two, oh, look at your note, and then you talk about it. Like, keep it really simple. Use bullet points instead of full scripts in the beginning, okay? And number three, which is really, really important, which I learned this so early. I've been doing my podcast for 4 years. It used to be called Behind the Picture. I added a second podcast called Ask a Photo Pro. And I mean, as we've evolved, this is now just the Carty method. So I had to set up a repeatable, consistent recording space. And I have that now. I have that repeatable recording space where I can present. I have OBS, which is how I'm broadcasting, excuse me, to YouTube right now here. I have my slides that I'm presenting to you right here. I have my teleprompter, which right now has chat, so I can see the messages that you guys are typing on YouTube. And I have my second camera, let's back up, right there. So I have a 2-camera setup, a 3-camera setup, because that's the third one. But you see 2 cameras. And by the way, that's just my iPhone. And because I like tech, I spent the time to figure out how can I get that iPhone into OBS. And, well, it's remarkably easy. And now I have, so I can show you. You only see this view. You only see this view. But being able to give you another view is cool. So my setup is a bit more advanced than yours will be. I don't expect you to have a 3-camera setup on your first Vive. I don't expect that to be what's happening. But you do have to create a repeatable, consistent recording space where you can do this over and over and over and over again. That's step number 3, okay? And step number 4 is speak as if you're talking to one person, please. And I'm giving you this tip. It took me at least 2 years to learn this. It took me at least 2 years to learn this. You know, when I do this podcast, I'm only doing it for you, right? Just you. Just you. I don't actually care if anybody else watches. I'm only doing it for you. And literally, if one person watches you, I'm happy. Super simple. Because I'm not talking to millions and millions of people. I'm just talking to one. I'm just talking to you. And you're my friend. And you're my peer. And you're also a photographer who's trying to explode their business, just like me. So we have lots in common. So for me, it becomes really easy for me to speak to you. Do you understand that? And when you see this, as a behind the scenes, yes, I see your message, your boy D. When I speak this behind the scenes, I'm alone, but I'm just speaking to you. That's it. So for you, what you do in step 4 is speak as if, like I do, you're speaking to one person, because you are. You're speaking to one person, not a crowd. Literally, you're speaking to one person. So 4 steps. Start with short videos. Use bullet points instead of full scripts. Set up a repeatable, consistent recording space, and speak as if you're talking to one person, not speaking to an entire crowd full of people. You're speaking to one person. So you also have to watch it. You also have to watch it. So we have to push through the fear of watching yourself, because the only way that we get better is watching back the content that we're making on video. Just like we look at our photographs after we make them in order to improve them, in order to tweak them, we also have to look at our clips that we shoot in order to judge them and improve them, so we know what we could be doing better next time. Like that small thing, I was looking at myself instead of looking at camera. I was looking at myself in OBS, in that OBS window, make sure I'm framed properly, but I'm not connecting with you. So now I'm connecting with you. So I always have to remember that I have to make eye contact, always. And you have to remember that the camera is the eyes of your viewer. So eye contact is super important. Super important. So we do indeed have to push through the fear of watching ourselves back. But we can do it strategically. And the first strategic thing that we can do is we are watching our videos back to improve. Okay? We're doing it to improve. We're not doing it to criticize. Look at this guy. Oh my God, I hate my teeth. I can't, but look at this. I look so stupid. Oh my God. Like the things that you can improve, like your personal style, fix that. If you look dumpy, fix that. If you need a haircut, fix that. Put on something like non-distracting. People are like, why do you always wear black? Because it's non-distracting. So you're not looking at my flower patterns. Like what I'm wearing, it's merch from the merch store, t-shirt, but it's just black. Why do I always wear black in my thumbnail? It's because it's part of my brand. This is actually how I dress. And I'm a photographer, I'm a creative. So our dressing, our style has to be elevated. Look at Chris Doe from the future. Look at what he dresses like in his 50s. Look at me at 54 with the matching, orange strap. What? But what shoes do you have on, Carty? What are you talking about? Of course. Because we're mad style. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people to trust us with their image, but yet you don't care about your image. People see me in a video. They see my style and they're like, this is the guy. Do you see how fast that is? It's so fast, but yet you don't make videos. It's crazy. So we're watching our videos back to improve, not to criticize. Okay? This isn't a flogging contest. We're not trying to beat ourselves up. We're just trying to improve. And I also want you to be thinking about clarity and pacing, not necessarily perfection. And notice how I'm keeping the flow of this podcast going and I'm presenting such valuable information to you But there's no lulls. There's no like, excuse me while I go to the bathroom. It's like, no, man, I've done that stuff before I stepped up to the mic because this is game time. I'm in it with you right now. So focus on clarity. Focus on pacing, pausing, but not perfection, because it will never be perfect. Just record. If you make a mistake, just go back to the beginning of the last sentence you made the mistake on and record it again and say it again. And then in the edit, just cut out that sentence. Get over yourself. To think that you're going to do a full front to back presentation without a mistake, and you're not ready to do one until you're good enough to do it. Oh my fuck, get over yourself. Get over yourself, for real. It's going to take time. It takes time. All we're doing is focusing on clarity and getting our information out in a very clear and concise way so people understand our message. We're not trying to be perfect. There is no perfect. Improvement comes from small adjustments over time. Okay? Small adjustments over time. You will not be good at this. You will suck at this. In fact, if you're good at this, you are an anomaly. Okay? You're going to suck at this, but you push through the suck. You push through the dip. That's what we do. And again, what's on the other side of this? $100,000 a year, because you're going to be putting yourself out there with confidence. You're going to be shooting work. People are going to be seeing you. They're going to hear you talk about your work, your philosophy, why you love photography, and they're going to be seeing your work, and you're going to get booked. Because people don't book people that aren't present in the world. People don't book people they don't see. And people book people that they trust, and you create trust by being in video. So we push through the dip. That is what we do. We push through the dip. Your cringe, you don't think that it's going to be cringe? It's part of the process. Get used to the cringe, because believe me, like, I've done hour-long podcasts and then realized I had a boogie up my nose after being live for an hour. Did I delete it? It's like, no, it's good content. It's up there. Sorry. Do you understand? Like, push through the cringe. Seriously, like a little fluff of like white fluff on my shirt right here. The whole hour long. Oh my God. Do you understand? After a while, just let it go. Just let it go. Because you know what? You're probably not even, I mean, the boogie. Yeah, you probably noticed that. But cringe is part of the process. I promise you, cringe is part of the process, but you got to push through it. You got to push. And again, don't push through it. Be afraid of the cringe. Do what you're doing and then fail. It's just literally, that is also part of the process. If you don't do this and you don't push through the cringe, if you don't trust yourself enough to do this, you're going to fail anyways. You're going to fail anyways. So everybody's early videos feel more than awkward. They're painful. Like, they feel more than awkward. They are painful. But guess what? You do them anyways. So and funny enough, for me, I'm a crazy person because I leave them out there. They're still on YouTube. You can find them. You can find my bad videos. They're out there. But I don't care, because it's a measure of how bad it was and how good I am now. Everybody's early videos feel awkward, okay? All of our early videos are going to feel awkward. Everybody's. And know that the valley of despair is temporary. If you change your inputs. If you change your input. People find me And then they find themselves becoming optimistic. They start like, I'm an informed optimist. I actually know what I have to do to get out of the valley of despair, to get out of the dip. And the only way to change the dip is info. You have to get information. You have to invest in yourself if you want to be out of the dip. Because if not, that dip, it's like uninformed optimist. Yeah, I'm going to start that. And then, oh my God, now I'm an informed pessimist. Then they hit the valley of despair. And then guess what? They quit. And then they just go and start something else. And then they're an informed optimist about something else. And then they're an uninformed optimist about something else. Then they're an informed pessimist. Then they hit the valley of despair to the dip. And then they go and they just keep in this triangle and they never get out of it. And it's not a triangle. It's not supposed to be a triangle. It's supposed to be a curve. And here is where you use it. That's the intervention. That intervention, that's like, can be so many different things, but I like to be people's intervention. Like, people find me when they're in the dip and I help them push through because I provide information. The valley of despair is temporary, so you have to keep going. Okay. We're trying to build a routine here. Why do you think I do 3 podcasts a week? It's part of my routine. It's as much therapy for me and as it is now a business. So I schedule weekly recording sessions. You should schedule a time every week where you're going to be in front of the camera. Well, what am I making? I'm not making YouTube videos. Make videos that promote your business. Make videos showing you behind the scenes. Make videos showing you doing a photo shoot. Make the stuff that people don't get to see. It's so easy. And then what's the recording session? Telling people what's happening. Telling people why that they should care and what value that they'll learn if they get to the end of it. That's all. It's so simple. You have to show up. Do you understand how I get really tired of being at my desk? Not only is this where I broadcast, this is also where I run my business. This is also like where I do all my post-production. And I spend so much time at my desk that I'm tired of being at my desk. But guess what? I keep showing up. I have to. I keep showing up even when it feels repetitive, because this isn't about me. It's about you. I know this information already. You don't. So this isn't about me. This is about you. So I show up for you because you show up for me and you show up for the information. So I show up for you to give it. It's a pretty cool exchange, yeah? Keep showing up. That's what you have to do, even when it feels repetitive. Confidence is built in practice, not theory. Okay? In practice. You can theorize all you like about how to do a backflip. But there's only one way it's going to happen. One way it's going to happen. You want to do a backflip. So you do like this, you land on your neck, you freaking break your neck. You try it again, you land on your shoulder, you break. Like, you try over. And in fact, you open a YouTube video. I'm going to watch a YouTube video to teach me how to backflip. And then you watch it, and then you go do it. And you break your neck. Guess how you're going to do it? How you do a backflip is you stand next to a guy who can backflip. He can do it every single time. And also, he's an expert at teaching you how to backflip. So guess what? He's like, okay, do a backflip. And then you break. And then he's like, okay, now watch me. And then he does it. And then he breaks down the mechanics step by step by step. And then the first time, oh my God, you spring all the way around and you almost put your feet back on the ground. And then he helps you. Like he guides you and he flips around that last little bit of, hey, Balzac, thanks for hanging out. He flips around that last little bit of like, so your feet act like a coach standing right beside you. Then he's like, okay, now backflip. And be really like he's telling you, be explosive off the push and like look spot your landing and bring your feet around and like and then you do, and guess what? You backflip in 2 hours standing next to a coach. Yes or yes? You can watch and practice theory about doing backflips all day long. Theory. But the practice part is doing. You can't theorize being a pro photographer, right? You can't theorize being in video. And the confidence that you have as a photographer is built from the practice of photography, not the books you read, okay? Or the YouTube videos you watched. It's in the practice of photography. So getting better on video comes from the practice of. Getting better at the business of photography comes from the practice of, not the theory. Got to build a routine. And confidence will come from repetition and doing it over and over and over again. And I promise you, if you do it over and over and over again, you will get better. There's no other way. It's the only thing that happens when you practice. It's the only thing that happens when you practice is you get better. So schedule weekly recording sessions. Keep showing up. Even when it feels repetitive, you have to keep showing up and know that confidence is built in practice, not at all in theory. So we also have to share before we feel ready. It's important that we share before we feel ready. Shooting these videos in secret is one thing, but the reason that we're shooting these videos is for the public to see. So perfection is the enemy of progress. So there is no perfect. It doesn't exist. And also, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. So don't compare yourself to anybody when it comes to you. In anything, in photography, in you being in video, with the things that you've achieved versus what anyone else has achieved, there's no comparison. And perfection isn't a thing. We can seek it and always work towards it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying throw perfection out the window. We are working towards mastery, but mastery is understanding that there is no perfection. It's a myth. So that's the enemy of progress. So you have to just put stuff out there as good as you can make it. Posting early, like that early content, like the stuff that even maybe before it's perfect, it accelerates improvement, especially if you're sharing it with the right audience and a helpful audience, like the kind of community that I've built with the Carty method. When you're sharing this content, like whether it's your photography or videos that you're making, share them and share them a lot, and maybe even before you feel ready. It's going to accelerate your improvement. I promise you. Because what that does is it opens a feedback loop. And a feedback loop is what we all need. We need a feedback loop. That's what I do with Portfolio Lab. Portfolio Lab is that feedback loop where you can make a photograph, submit it, and I can tell you what you could do to improve it. And then next week you can make that photograph again, and it's 100 times better because you've taken instant feedback and applied it to the very next time you shoot. So A feedback loop speeds up learning more than isolation, which is why you share that video and read the comments. Hear what people have to say, positive and negative. So it's incredibly important for you to be really wrapping your head around this today and sharing before you feel ready. And I really want you to remember why this matters. And I'm going to zero in on this hard. First, camera confidence equals business confidence. Let that ring through your ears. Camera confidence equals business confidence. I'll say on-camera confidence, just in case that isn't clear. On-camera confidence equals business confidence. And it's so fast in how this works. You're confident. Here, let me do it like this. You're confident on camera, which means you're confident in business. And because you're confident in business, you get more business, which makes you even more confident on camera because you know what you're talking about. Like, this is a cycle, and it's beautiful, beautiful. Clients book photographers that they trust and they connect with. How many of you at home feel like, I like this guy, I connect with this guy, he's no bullshit, he just says it like it is? Like, you feel that, right? Yes or yes? Clients book photographers that they like and trust and that they connect with because they can picture, I can connect with this guy. We have common ground. I like the words that this guy's saying. They resonate with me. That comes from an in-person meeting usually, right? But you can do that in video if you put enough video out there, specifically speaking to that target ideal client of yours. It makes it really happen. I mean, it makes it really happen fast, which is amazing. Clients book photographers that they connect with and that they trust. And don't forget, very much like me, who I am not at all perfect, I'm just real. And I just have experience where you don't. And I've done the things that you're hoping to. And I've systemized how to help you. I've systemized it because I systemized how to help myself, which is why it works for you, because it works for me, which means it'll work for any pro photographer. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. I promise you, you just need to be real. So let's get into your action plan. Record a short video introducing yourself this week. That's what I'm asking you to do. And if you're in Portfolio Lab, you know in Portfolio Lab this week, I am asking you to record a 90-second video doing just this. So if you're smart, you join Portfolio Lab and get this recording into me so I can review it for you. So this week, your action plan, record a short video introducing yourself and post it inside my community. Okay. But you should also share it to your socials. You should also put it on your about page on your website. It should go on your about page for sure, but put it inside Portfolio Lab community. I would definitely, and review it, improve it, and do it again. And then post it inside my community, share it to your socials, and fix the about page with now this new video. That is our goal, and that's your goal this week. Here's some closing thoughts. What if I had quit this, eh? What if I had quit making videos? What if I had quit like video and making videos for clients? They trust me to make videos for them because I make videos for myself. They trust me to make video. They trust me to direct students, or like when I shot for Algoma, or clients trust me to direct them because I can direct, and I can direct myself, and I can be directed because I know how to be on camera and I know what it takes. So it comes from practice. And let's go back again. What if I had not started? Like, what if I had not got back into caring about making videos and caring about sharing my information? I definitely would not be where I am today, which is confident, and my business is rocking, and like I need nothing. I am without need. I have everything that I need. Have an amazing community, have an amazing photography business. I have the Carty method. I have this amazing YouTube channel. I have you. This is amazing. So what if I quit? And what if I never started being on video? I wouldn't have you. Which would suck. Confidence comes from doing. You know that. You're confident with the camera because you do that, right? You're confident with the camera because you do that. You're not confident in front of video because you haven't done that yet, but you're going to, and you will become confident in there as well. I promise you, because it's naturally what happens. A plus B equals C in every case. Confidence comes from doing, and that's in every case as well. There's no theory here. So I promise you, everything that I'm experiencing here with my growth on YouTube, everything I'm experiencing with the growth in my business, how I saved my business, everything is possible for you. There's no limit. There's literally no limit. Every single photographer that I've helped, that I've had that's been my assistant, has all gone on to be somewhat more successful than me. And it's because I just pour, like, I get way off more than like seeing other people succeed, you know? But I also want my own success. So I'm starting to really care more about my own success. I've always been quite selfless, but I read that sentence, the same as possible for you. Yeah, it is possible for me, but it's possible for you as well. So here's your next steps. It's pretty simple. Your next steps is this. Number one, do my 30-day on-camera challenge. I've created a 30-day on-camera challenge where I send you an email every day and I tell you what to do. And you can do it with your phone. And you record a short thing that I tell you to record. And I tell you to watch this, and this. And over the 30 days, over the 4 weeks, every day you get better. And at the end, you'll be like, I can't believe that this is my video. And when you look at your first one, you'll be like, oh my God, it was so bad. Day 1 was so bad. And day 30, in 30 days, you would be confident on camera. And guess what? I sell this product for $1 a day. So it's $30. It is for now. Like, it's definitely not going to be $1 a day in future, because the people who've done this course have told me they would pay $500 for this. They would have paid $500 for this, for how effective it is. And I charge $30, which is actually stupid. But that's what I'm doing because I want you to have it and I want you to do it. So $1 a day is my offer. And also join Portfolio Lab. That's your next step. Join Portfolio Lab so you can have that instant feedback. And also, if you join it in time, you can make your bio video, which would really hit hard about now for your photography business. And lastly, I challenge you to post just one video this week coming. Just post one. Just post one video. That's the only thing that I'm challenging you to do. So, the Carty method on-camera challenge. I've sent the link. It's inside the video description. You can join this. I'll send you an email a day. And then at the end of it, you make a video that tells the world how, who you are, and you release yourself to the world simply like that. It's pretty dope. Very proud of the 30-day on-camera challenge, but again, I'm going to add to it and make it a little bit more beefy and charge a little bit more for it because it's worth more. So if you're not wanting, if you're watching this, you better click the link in the description to see if it's still available so you can get yourself going. Again, if you want it, there's this very small percentage of you that will actually act, and I understand that, but for you who will actually act, this is going to be game changing. Thanks so much. I hope today brought you value. One.
This live stream was brought to you by Pixpa, the best website builder for photographers and creatives, and Indie, the best way to run your freelance business, and by you, the members and subscribers of the Carty Method. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month to show your support for our content, and we'll reward you. You get members-only content every month, and Carty has the best emojis on YouTube, and you'll get that crown badge next to your name. If you're building a photography business, make sure you join Portfolio Lab. How ready are you to be a pro? Take the Carty Method Pro Photographer's Readiness Scorecard. You'll always find helpful links in the show notes. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert. Even if the content you're sharing isn't yours, be a curator and share this content with your network. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
I'm trying to find 1,000 true fans. If you're a true fan, please consider hitting the join button. I do this for you. Thanks for watching.